Yeah, I was saying that Ja'Kai Douglas, well deserved, breaking the rock there. 6 catches for 115 yards when you had your two top receivers out, which Pitt gave us all they had. Three big time receivers out because Hakeem Williams is still out as well, and he would have been a pretty much a fill in for those guys if they weren't playing. So we had some serious digging deep there with the depth chart, and it was good to see Ja'Kai step up. What were your guys' thoughts on the first half as you were watching, and then as it played out throughout the game versus Pitt?
Well, I was
Who's
dying in that first quarter. Second quarter, finally got a touchdown. Lord, it was killing me. I watched the replay of the whole game today, and Benson's big run and Ja'Kai came in strong. So Philly had some good runs. It was all
what'd you
good.
think? What'd you think, Austin, as you were watching it?
So my thought was that I had a handful of thoughts that went through my mind, other than the fact that we suck and we're not doing how good I think that we should be doing. 24-7 against Pitt. 24-7. Notre Dame smoked them the week before. They put 50 on them in Pitt, something like that. Then they went and lost in Death Valley to Clemson. I think that we keep playing down or up to our competition, and it's maddening at this point. I don't know how or what or who is the issue, but somebody is the issue along the way. Our defense is still playing really well. They're keeping us in it while our offense is trying to figure it out. But I think the play calling has been really bad as of late. I mean, great, we got the win, whatever. But we called 2 ridiculous trick plays in the first half. We march all the way down the field, and then Mike decides to go for it on 4th and long at the goal line or whatever. We can't get short yardage on 4th downs or 3rd downs. It's just our offensive line couldn't run block all game long. We had to rely on the pass with no receivers on our team.
Except
It
for
was
Benson.
a recipe. It was a recipe for disaster, and we ended up escaping because Pitt's offense is terrible, and our defense was good enough to avoid disaster. Great effort by Finchel Cypress to run that guy down and make him fumble at the half-yard line and then recover it in the end zone for a touchback. Good job on him. But Pitt easily could have beat us on that day. We got pretty lucky, and I feel like that's been kind of the our MO is we're just escaping some of these wins because we can't click on all cylinders. That's my big takeaway is we just continue to not click, and it's pretty frustrating. And I think that the series where in the third quarter or the couple series in the third quarter where we started to put some really good drives together, it was we were running a lot of RPOs. Anytime we were running any design runs, it was just crap. We were just getting stuffed. Our offensive line, even though they're supposed to be bigger, better, stronger, smarter, all that stuff, they're getting manhandled by Pitt. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts around that. The only way we could get around them is when we do RPOs. And for some reason, Mike wants to dial them up when he does, and then he decides not to dial them up at other times instead of sticking with it. Anytime you put the ball into Jordan's hands and Jordan's making reads and he's making plays with either his feet, his good read to hand the ball off, or a good throw based on the defense committing to the run, that's whenever we keep doing well. And it was just I don't know, didn't come away from that game feeling that great other than the fact that we got the win.
I think, the old line and Casey Roddick was getting beat pretty well like a drum in that game. Left guard, really weak there. I don't know what's going on with him, but Travis had this huge throws. Warlock and Douglas saved the day, and I'm not going to take anything away from them. Plus, Norvell left a touchdown on the board, kept keeping it classy, taking the knee, right? So, you know, it's a down day. Nobody knew Keon Coleman wasn't going to be playing, and if he was going to play in that game, he probably would have got separation when no one else was. Ja'Kai did a few times, and that's what broke the game open, I think. And then Benson's run, was that a counterplay? The run, the big run?
Yep.
So when we can hit that right, man, oh, shit, we can hit a home run, you know. But, yeah, it'll be interesting. I think we get Johnny and Keon back this week, right? So
We should.
yeah.
Hopefully. Norvell's been non-confirmative on that, but I'm sure we do.
Bless Harris, I don't even remember if Bless Harris played in that game
Jeff,
against Pitt.
do you have anything to add to all that? Because I do if you don't.
Yeah, we really need Benson and Philly to step up because last year's Miami game, that's going to be pretty important. When you have 180 yards rushing last year, Benson.
Yeah, he had a lot. He dominated them.
Yeah, well, he sure helped us on that one long run.
Then Mario
Saturday.
took credit for recruiting him to Florida State. So
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, well then I guess I'll go. I have a different take than all of you, which is your backs are against the wall. You have your literal offense thrown to the side of the road because you have your best players not playing. Your best players on your team that make your entire offense go, and yet you're able to bring in Ja'Kai Douglas, Biscuit, Marquise and Douglas, and Kyle Morlock, and turn out a offensive performance that's basically 31 points. You know, like Big Daddy Nole said, you know, they took the knee on the 2. They would have punched it in. They would have gone. Would your mind have changed if it was 31-7? Probably, because it looks different. 31-7 versus 24-7 looks different. But at the end of the day, we did get the broken coverage and the strip on the 1. And Fentrell Cypress made an amazing play and recovered for his coverage bust and got the ball back for the offense. Yeah, it wasn't pretty at times, but that's what happens when you play Pitt. That's what happens when you play teams with a defensive-minded coach. Shit gets sloppy, and it doesn't always work out the way you plan it.
I mean, how the hell did Pitt beat Louisville? You know what I mean?
Right, they beat
Let's
Louisville.
talk about
they
that.
Beat the second-best team who's going to be in the top 10.
Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that.
They'll be in the top 10 when we play them in the ACC championship.
Everyone has conveniently forgot that.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing is what I'm saying is they went to Pitt the same way we did on a nasty little night.
Yep.
And they made massive mistakes and turnovers, and we did not. That's the thing is even though we didn't look crisp, we didn't look clean because we didn't have our best players on the field. We didn't. We had our best player on the field. We didn't have our next 2 best. Well,
listen, if Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson are going to make that big of a difference in our offense,
but they do.
Yeah,
what
they
do. They
they're,
do.
They're cheat codes, man.
They do.
No. Because what happens whenever Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson are out is you're supposed to take over in the run game. That's what's supposed to happen. If your best players, if your best players, if your best wide, they're not best players. They're the best wide receivers. And we had like 5 wide receivers out. It was insane. We had pretty much everybody.
McKean too, yeah.
And it was 3 wide receivers out and 2 that were actually playing, but they were not healthy, and you could tell.
How many yards did Morlock have?
They had a lot. The tight ends did
a lot.
But why?
He had one big catch down the middle. It was a big.
Why can we not rely? Why can we
5.
not rely on our running game whenever we don't have a lot of wide receivers? Obviously, we have one of the best players in the college football in Jordan Travis, right? We're putting it on his back to throw to our B squad, who is doesn't have the same separation. Why are we putting on Jordan Travis to throw the B squad plus the tight ends instead of just getting our run game to work and
Because-
run a
Right.
fucking counter.
It's-
Why can't
it's
they
be-
run a fucking counter? They're
It's
not
because-
running counters. They
it's
can run
because-
an RPO, but they can't run a fucking
Well,
counter.
Benson hit the 50-yarder on a counter. Thank
Yeah,
God.
right after we
It's
got,
always-
right after we got done running a bunch of RPOs.
It's moving pieces. Okay, remember in the LSU game where we were having trouble doing the pulling counter? So then Norvell went to split back.
Mhm.
We went to split back, and then we started running counter because then we got two other backs in the backfield,
It's a setup.
and they
It's a
didn't
setup
even.
the entire game.
Yeah, they. So they're gonna I think change based on that, and it's like Pittsburgh. It's like everyone's out, no one's playing. It's like why go through all the
Basically,
think-
what
no.
Joey's saying, let me just say this. Basically,
Go
what
ahead.
Joey's saying is like throughout the game, when something is not working, which it wasn't, because when you go back and look at Trey Benson's runs, it was like 3, -3, 0, 1, 3, -3, and a lot of those were counters. So what they ended up doing was they started splitting people out. They started getting all the tight ends involved. And when they finally hit that big Marquise and Douglas play, if you don't realize it, you probably don't. When you go back and look at the play, he was actually a tackle. He was a
Yeah,
tackle.
it was
And
a
they
trick
split
play.
out a tackle to the right. So they had 3 to the right and 1 was a tackle. So he was covered up, but he was also a receiver. And they called it out. So it was wide open because they assumed he was going to block. So he played tackle. So you set this up throughout the game. So when they bring it back in and they condense it, and then they spread them out wide, and they run the counter the way it's supposed to be ran, they set it up. And then it was blocked up. And then Trey, you can see as an elite athlete, boom, hits it 50 yards. So you can say what you want. You can be disappointed with a 24-7 win, but
Yeah,
that is
I am.
bizarre. That is an awful take because
it's
we are
not.
playing conference opponents that all are on scholarship as well. And all these teams around us are fucking struggling to play the same fucking teams. And just because we didn't blow them out by 30 doesn't mean we played bad. Because I will get to my next point, which is the defense fucking dominated. The
Well,
defense only gave up 7 points. Are
That's
you
great.
upset
That's
about
great.
the defense giving up 7 points?
That's
How
great. They
about
shouldn't
those
have given
deep
up
sacks
7.
by
They almost gave
DeKalb?
up 14. They almost
They
gave up 14.
almost gave up 14,
So
but they didn't.
the problem that I think no one is talking about right now is the fact that the Florida State run offense has been atrocious all year long. At what point do we just say that we're not very good runners and all we can rely on is the passing game? Think about Clemson. We get held to, it was like 20 yards on the entire game. We've got this game, I don't even know what we had, but we had one run over 55 yards. One run that was like 10 yards. That was it. It was this 55-yarder. Like, at what point do we just say we're not a great running team and we need to look at our offensive line and our offensive
Well, they
coach
have.
or whatever
They have
our scheme
realized
is?
that. That's why that we're running screens on like pretty much every series.
Right. And you can't, I mean, say you can't make a living out of that. but,
No,
like, you
because the
can.
screens are an extension to a run.
They are.
That's the
but
whole point.
I think compared to last year, our running game is not up to par to what it should be in order to make everything else work. We try to do, play action. We try to do RPOs. We try to do read offenses. If we can't have a real running game, we're getting stuck in this no man land where we have to throw, and we're putting all this weight on Jordan Travis, which he's making some unbelievable throws. The dime to Ja'Kai Douglas down the seam was incredible. The play that Mike drew up, where it was the trick play with Marquise and Douglas, it worked to perfection. So like he can obviously scheme it up, but like why is he just trying to constantly do shit that's not working? And why have they not figured out the run game? I'm nervous
Have
about
we
that
dropped
going into
off
Miami week and going into Florida week and then going into the ACC championship and then potentially going into the college football playoffs. Like that's something we need to figure out. It's November and it's not figured out.
With our remaining schedule that we have, it doesn't fucking matter. We just have to win.
Right. It doesn't matter because we've got North Alabama. We'll have one good game against North Alabama, make our year-long stats look good, so it'll be okay, guys. Yeah, you're right. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. We'll have one good game, and we'll be
Is
good.
it our center or is it the tackles? What are we not getting open for the running game?
I
It's
gotta
the
imagine
guards.
it's everybody. Yeah, it's the guards are ending up in Jordan's lap, and every time the running back gets the ball handed off to him, he's got nowhere to run.
The difference is also that Mike's calling a game for elite athletes on the outside, and we never had elite athletes on the outside before. So all he did was he ran the little gadget plays back and forth, and while all the eye candy and switching everybody up, and it did work really well last year. But look, we didn't have the players we have this year. We lost 3 games in a row. So I don't know what you're thinking. Like, we haven't lost 3 fucking games in a row. We've not lost a game this season. We're at 9-0, and we had a bad showing and blew out Pitt. We blew them out. We literally took a knee on the 2 when we could have made it 31-7.
Yeah, I was watching that. I thought that was a nice gesture because we had it to go.
I mean, if you want the play, if you're worried about the playoff committee, if that's the whole thing, then who cares? Fuck them. If we went out with winning games 2-1, it doesn't matter. We're in. That's it. Doesn't matter. If we win 3-2 in every single game going forward, we are in the fucking playoff, and that is the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate goal, is to get in the playoff. Is it not?
Is. I agree. And if we have 5 unbeaten teams at the end of the year, which is not going to happen,
that won't happen.
Like we got to show up against our ACC opponents that fucking suck. They're 2-7. Like, great, our defense
Miami.
did well, but like
we can beat Miami 3-2. We can beat North Alabama 3-2. We can beat Florida 3-2. We can beat Louisville 3-2, and we are in.
You know who Louisville's only loss is to?
Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt.
Jesus Christ.
And do you think Louisville's a bad team? No, you don't.
Yeah, they are, because they lost to Pitt.
No. They're not bad.
Okay. Next topic.
You are
Sorry.
You are a fatalist, sir.
I'll tell you what.
The take that you just had, Austin, is fucking wild.
Why? Why is that wild?
Because we were literally...
Does everybody else feel like that was a wild take? Only Paul.
What was your take? My shit fucked up.
That FSU sucked. And
my take was that FSU doesn't know how to run the game. My take was that FSU doesn't know how to run the ball, and that's what FSU's offense is this year. And they've got a problem. And I think they do have a problem.
That's not their offense.
They can't figure out how to run the ball.
That's not their fucking offense anymore. It's not their offense anymore. They can't run the ball against Duke.
They can't run it against Clemson. They can't run it against LSU.
But they had a 55-yard touchdown. That's their whole offense. Is they set everything up until they have the big run.
They had one big play. Congratulations to them. Every other play was for less than 5 yards.
Because they can't run the ball because their offensive line is not good enough to do it.
Yeah, that's my point. They're not good enough to fucking run the ball.
Order in the
Our
court.
offensive line is not as good as they think it is.
But they're still winning fucking games.
Yeah, at this point, it's survive in advance. Okay,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Survive in advance.
And they put up 24 points out of mercy.
Let's relax. Okay,
I think it's going to pose a lot of problems in the
They
very
only
near
gave up
future.
7 points. They only gave up 7 points.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, hey,
That's
the
not gonna be
defense
the
has
case
played
every
better
single
each
game.
game.
That's not going to be the case every single game.
I think Tyler Van
Virginia
Spike.
Tech. We've
1
played
yard
Wake
line.
Forest. We've played Duke. We've played Pitt. Like, it's not like we had a massive stretch of hard hitting, tough games recently. Like,
Yeah, well, you go learn Saturday, boy.
This
you
was
will
the
learn
fucking.
Saturday.
This was the cupcake stretch right here, and we're about to go in the hard stretch, and we can't run the ball against Pitt.
You're angry for no reason.
Well, each team's matchup is different. Okay, they have their strengths, and I mean, look what they did to Louisville. I'm sure Louisville couldn't really run the ball against them either.
Dude, we were 10-3 a year ago and lost 3 straight games and couldn't throw the ball like we're throwing it this year. We couldn't.
Yeah,
What did we do during that
or
stretch
play
that we
defense
played
or
really
play
well?
defense that way. We didn't play defense that well either.
We also
No,
went on a
defense
nice
is infinitely
little
better.
stretch at the end of the season we were playing Cupcakes team and we were smashing the shit out of them. We're not smashing the shit out of the Cupcake teams anymore.
Yeah, we're about to smash the shit out of them, our most hated. So
We played a very tight game against Virginia Tech. Played a very tight game against Virginia Tech for a while, and
39 to 16.
Yeah,
39
Did you
to
watch
16.
the game all the way through the half? It was a tight game.
So maybe that's who we
True.
are. And
well, no, that's what I'm saying.
When
with the second half adjustments, that's when we're like, okay, this is what they want to do. Then we're going to fuck you this way.
Wake is
that's what happens.
Yeah, Wake is the only team that we actually blew them out. That's the only team we've actually blown out.
No,
Duke
Syracuse.
was a close game all the way through the third.
We're trying to we're playing for longevity here. Okay, so survive in advance.
So you're telling
rest
me
our
that
horses.
You're telling me that beating a top 25 team by 18 points is not a blowout? Or beating a top 10 team by 21 is not a blowout?
Who are you talking about?
When we played LSU and when we played Duke and when we played Duke. You can say what you want about Duke. Duke was on a different trajectory until their coach fucked their season by playing their quarterback versus us.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I mean,
which he did do. Like, they would be in a different situation if they did not play him against us.
Yeah, they would have lost by more.
Right, and they wouldn't have lost more games after that.
My problem is that when our team faces a semi-competent defense, we fold. And especially we fold in the run game.
Like
guess
Clemson.
Who's not a great... Yeah, Clemson's a decent run defense.
Look what they just did to Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame's not that good.
Notre Dame couldn't run the ball.
They were ranked high, but they're not that good.
Oh, really? So all of a sudden Notre Dame's no good. Any team that has any relevance to us and how good we are, you sound like the college football playoff. Like, we are fucking good. And when we have everyone playing, we are good. And if we start slow, that doesn't change the outcome because the outcome has always been good. In a 9-0 season, a 9-0 season.
Yeah, my point is that in a 9-0 season, how many times have we put an entire game together? Twice.
Who cares? We're 9-0. We haven't lost a game.
I expect perfection, and we have.
You know how many teams have done that?
Once.
You know how many teams have done that this season?
We almost lost to Boston College. Like
5 teams have done that.
We don't look invincible. We don't look invincible. Is my point.
5 teams have gone undefeated.
We show up with plenty of shitty days and plenty of shitty games and plenty of shitty performances by our team. And I think this was another shitty performance by our offense.
Being undefeated.
And our defense did okay because they played
undefeated at this point in the season.
Mediocre offense that was no good.
Compared to a team that was 5-7 2 years ago and lost to Jacksonville State.
Listen, this is a podcast all about opinions, and now it's my opinion. So we played like shit and we looked like shit, and I'm not happy with what we saw.
Well, it's also a good sign that when we do have a number of players like we have, Wilson and Coleman out, we did come back up with some of the B players, Jakai and Morlock. I mean, those guys, they stepped up. They got the ball. They ran. They did it.
At the last minute, it's like, you have no receivers. Put something together and play. Good luck. 2
late game big sacks were major with the one fumble. Those
all
were
I
great.
hear is great things. That's all I hear.
Survive in advance. I get what Austin's saying. We want to.
But let me ask you this, Big Daddy. Are you complaining about that win?
I'm not complaining about it. Yeah, I was nervous at times and pissed off.
Yeah, but you're not complaining about it, are you?
But no, at this point, it's surviving in advance.
No, you're not complaining about it.
I'll be the complainer on the podcast. It's okay.
We were winning games by 1 point a year ago, and now we're winning games we're complaining about 17 points.
Yeah.
No, I think he's just being a stern critic because the playoff committee is going to be a stern critic, and they're going to look for any reason to fuck us out of it. And
they are.
We are
not the media darlings.
No, but you know what? They're not going to watch. They're not going to remember that whole game. They're not going to remember Mike Norvell taking a knee on the 2-yard line.
No one is going to.
They're not going to remember that.
Here's the thing: is no one's also going to remember Pitt after the ACC championship game. No one's going to remember this game. They are not. They're
That's
not.
true.
They're going to remember us beating Louisville.
If we can handle Miami
Remember
and
them
Florida,
because those
no one's
uniforms
going to say
are
shit.
ugly.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I hope I'm 100% wrong, and I hope you guys are 100% right. I hope that we actually have a really good running game against Miami. But from what I've
We
seen,
won't.
I'm not counting on it. I'm not
We
counting on
won't
having a good running
because their
game.
defensive line's good.
Yeah, but freaking NC State ran all over their ass. Like NC State,
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
they did.
No,
They
they
did.
didn't. At the end of the game. At the end of the game, when they wore them down and started putting points on the board, yeah. At the end of the game.
No.
Well, you just got to realize once we make our adjustments, Norvell and them are really good at that. He's been great with play calling besides the fourth down play calls, but
Yeah, I mean,
those
I
have got to
think
stop.
they've been very good at adjusting after we get outclassed in the first half. You're right. We're very good at adjusting after that.
well, they've gotten a lot better too. Remember the Boston College game, slow start, but ever since then, defense has been 7 points. So and what you've seen here, and with every game, how many points has the defense allowed? It has gone down every game. It has. Look at it.
Yep. Yeah. It has.
So the scoring, like the amount of points to be scored on our defense, is probably right now like the best in the country.
And
It's
you know
like
the way
13
that
points a
we
game.
eliminate, the way that we eliminate points is we put Conrad fucking Hussey in there. That's
Oh
it.
shit, he
That's
finds the ball.
how we eliminate points. We put a
He
ball
can
hawk
find the
back
ball.
All
there
right,
who can find the ball.
since Austin jumped to that and basically destroyed any kind of conversation we were going to have on anything because he had his points that were crazy.
No, it wasn't crazy.
gonna-
That was
Chop
my
chop here.
opinion. That
Yeah,
was my
we're gonna
opinion,
move on.
and you
We're
decided
gonna
you
move
wanted
on.
to have a battle about it.
Yeah, because it's a fucking crazy opinion.
Order in the court.
Yeah, it's a crazy opinion.
It's not
Anyway,
crazy.
so I was going to say, with the defense only giving up 7 points, and they've literally given up basically nothing in the past 5 games. It's fine. It's finally time to say that they are good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Our
We'll
defense
see.
is good.
We'll see what Van Dyke can do against them. I think they're going to get sacked. The lights the fuck out. Like they're going to get.
They're gonna destroy Van Dyke.
Joshua Farmer is going to fuck that O line up.
Ever
They're
since the
officially
Clemson
ranked
game,
16th nationally in defense.
and that's all because after the Clemson game, we stopped playing soft coverage and we just started playing tight and then blitzing everybody.
Yep.
So since that's happened, we've given up literally nothing to anyone because we have athletes and we have great players, and so our defense is good. So we only gave up 7 points this week, and it shows. So, who on the defense impressed you this week that isn't really a starter, maybe, or isn't maybe he's a rotational piece, or is a starter and is not getting enough love? Austin, go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say about this.
I thought Braden Fisk did really good. Obviously, already heaped some praise onto Conrad Hussey. That guy is amazing. He was on the what was it, the takeaway watch or whatever they do at the beginning of the season and preseason. They do like the takeaway takeaway information about the practices and stuff like that. He continues that throughout the season, and then Braden Fisk was first half sack.
Yeah, we gave him a half sack actually, which
he got
is
a half
ridiculous.
Hey, is Jared Verse
He finally
okay?
got in.
Yeah, Jared versus fun.
Okay.
Well,
Just
Fisk and
remember he went down.
Deloach
Yeah,
were
that one
both
scare.
on. Their defensive play was awesome, especially late in the game. Deloach made that one big sack. Then they ended
Central
up fumbling.
Cyprus is lucky as
Cyprus
hell.
picked up that fumble.
Is it lucky as hell, or is it talent?
Well,
to get the strip?
it's grit. I mean, it's not giving up on the play.
The
It's
harder
effort,
I work,
yeah.
the luckier I get.
Yep.
And that is that's crazy.
It was a great
It's
hustle
still a
play.
crazy play. Yeah,
It
I still couldn't
100%
believe that when it
hustle.
happened live.
Yeah.
I was blown away. when it
100%
happened.
hustle. In any other past Florida State team, that would have been a touchdown.
Dude, the Pitt
So,
fans
good
wanted
for
to
him.
kill the refs with that. Dude,
It was the
Because
right
he went
call
out of
though.
It
bounds.
was the
Yeah.
right call. It was legit. Yeah,
It was the right call.
no
He
question.
stripped it, and then
No
recovered
question.
it in the end zone.
And I'm happy to see that because he's been getting shit on lately. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, he's been getting
For good reason.
harsh
It's
critique.
been bad.
Yeah,
Him and
I'm
bad.
gonna
He
pick
had some
Hussey
been
on
great.
mine. gonna pick Hussey on mine too because he finds the ball and you can see now why he's getting more playing time because he's looking better than Kevin Knowles.
Yeah, he needs to play a lot more than Kevin Knowles. I'll put it that
Not
way.
hard to
is,
do. He
lot
came in
more.
for Akeem Dent like in the third quarter.
Mhm.
Well, Knowles doesn't even need to come in for Dent
No.
now. You should just bring him in.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, they need to put him in at the nickel or whenever they got the nickel package. Just put
Yeah, and
Hawks
another
in there.
thing, in that game, I don't think Dennis Briggs played either.
I don't think he did.
Dennis Briggs, did Malcolm Ray play? You got to think of like all the horses we use and how many people we were limited to.
Dent's gonna have to pick up the game here for the hate week. Miami.
And you know who else? I'm going to heap praise on. I'm going to heap credit to.
Is that the Fintrow
Well,
play?
I'm gonna heap credit on.
This is wild. This play right here.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm not gonna lie. Fintrow Cypress looks slow.
No, he didn't.
know he's-
Look at this.
I know
Look at
he's-
this catch up. Look what he does
I
here.
know he's not.
Look what he
I
does
know
here.
he's not slow.
Look at this right
Yeah.
here. Boom. There's the extra.
Yeah, mine's
Boom.
lagging.
Yeah,
Mine's
mine's too. Listen, I know he's not slow. He just looks slow when he runs.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
Morlock
all right.
looks slow.
Listen, my eyes don't deceive me. He looks slow.
Conrad Hussey is needing to play a lot more.
Yeah, Patrick Payton looked a lot better pass rushing in that game too. Did y'all notice that? He looked stronger.
Yeah, except his stupid penalty. He threw the hands in the face of the
that
guy.
was stupid.
Yeah.
He does that a lot actually. He's
loves
so
doing
aggressive. He's so aggressive that he can't help himself. He just cannot help
I'd
himself.
rather him be overly aggressive than under aggressive.
I agree with that.
letting
I agree with
up
that.
on it. Like, yeah, just go and attack the guys. Fuck
Just
it.
continue to whoop ass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whoop
All right,
ass games later.
so this week is Miami Hate Week.
Fuck
um,
Miami. Fuck Miami.
Fuck
Hate is
Miami.
such
Can I
a
share
strong
something?
word.
Miami.
Honor?
I was just gonna show this real quick and then you can share. Hold on.
All right.
I just had this right there for them. This is from Van Jacobs.
We're not.
as
We're not
he was
looking at
walking
it
up.
right
We're
now,
not
sure.
seeing it yet. Did you share?
Oh shit. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, how dare
I
you
thought I
react
did.
too early?
I thought I did. Oh damn it.
Immature.
Immature.
This is just saying fuck you fucking panther fucks.
No wonder he's in the doghouse all the time.
He's always in the doghouse.
He's
dude.
such a
You're
fuck the free
number
world, man.
one.
Fuck you.
You're number
Yeah.
one. You're
Yeah, but dude,
number
he,
one.
Isn't
he
this
had
a
a good
freshman?
game when they put him in the game. He was so fucking fast. I
Dude,
noticed.
he is really good.
Dude, I noticed him immediately when he ran the slant. I was like, "Holy shit!" And then fucking Jordan hit him for the big slant, and it was like 15 yards, and I was like, "Damn!" And then he ran it again, and that's when they had like the helmet on helmet contact, and then he basically went out of the game, and they were like checking him, and as he's walking off the field, that's what he did. They were like talking shit to him. He's like, "Yeah, fuck you, losers."
I didn't know he did it like in the
Yeah.
moment like that. I
Yeah.
thought that was like after the
You're
game.
No,
number
That's
no,
funny
no,
as hell.
no.
This is a clip from, this is a clip from the live broadcast. He
Yeah, no,
definitely flipped this
he
guy
did this
off.
on a live broadcast.
You know what? We're gonna
He's-
chalk this up as he was concussed and he didn't know what he was doing, and
Yeah,
he just
exactly.
decided to flip him off on camera.
That's great.
Yeah, it's
My
a
man was a
fucking
little
hilarious
fuzzy.
photo. Look at his little fucking grin.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, bitch, fuck you, bitch.
yeah.
And Greg Reed back deep.
Miami Hate Week, let's go.
Can y'all hear that?
Kickoff
Yeah.
from
Yep.
Jake Wyclaw. Miami
As long as
kicks
Palmer
off
isn't
down
talking to the mic.
17-7.
Hey,
Despite the fact they had decided statistical edge in the first half, they also committed a lot of
He's
mistakes.
moving
Here's
so
the true
fast.
freshman Williams.
Goodness gracious.
so fast.
Dragged down back at the 28. It's a touchdown of it stands.
Man, I miss those shiny pants.
Yeah,
Yeah, good old Carlos, man.
Carlos.
he's fast. So
Anything you want to say
Any,
about that clip
um,
there, Joseph? Or Big Daddy?
any?
Nole?
What was it?
Anything you want to say about that clip, Big Daddy?
Oh, just in the spirit of Miami Hate Week, gotta love Carlos Williams. I mean, I don't think I've seen a kicker turn that fast. Shit.
Fuck
Against them.
Miami. Fuck Miami. So
Kermit.
any thoughts on their offense, defense, special teams, guys? I'll let. How about Big Daddy Nole? You wanna touch on that right there?
What was your question?
Any thoughts on Miami's offense, defense, or special teams? Anything that stood out to you while you
Shit.
watched them the past few weeks?
Yeah, they want Tyler Van Dyke's head, it seems like. He had one play where it was a sack, but like he kind of like looked like he was going down to one knee, and it looked like he could have gotten out of it, but he just like fell down. Like assumed the fetal position like he was about to get attacked by a bear. He just totally hit the ground. I'm hoping that they've quit and given up on the season.
I saw the play you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. He just sat down when he was. He
was like, mommy.
He had no one.
He's
on
a different quarterback from 2 years ago. Whenever he was lighting up at the beginning of the season, I know when we were
14.
Yeah, 4th and 14 year. He came into that game super hyped, and people were saying that he was like going to be the next great Miami quarterback.
Yeah,
and
2 picks back to back.
He did nothing in that game. He was really good before that game. Did nothing in that game. He hasn't done anything since. I don't know if the guy's got the yips or something, but he's just not a good quarterback or something. I don't know.
Miami has been so anemic, man.
I say that now before the game. Hopefully he doesn't show up and play well. Yep.
Miami's been so anemic, man. You know, they beat Texas A&M, then they go back and then they smoke a couple of BC, and then they Temple, then they come back and get beat by Georgia Tech, and then they beat Clemson. They almost lose to Virginia. I mean, Miami is just all over the place. I don't know.
The offense, Tyler Van Dyke is going to probably start again, and he's probably their worst option because he's so scared right now of his own shadow. Mm-hmm. And that's good for us because we're going to get a bunch of sacks, and he's going to be scared as crap. Defense, their defense is actually pretty good. Their defense is pretty good, which is why I think we won't score a whole lot. I think we'll score enough. I think we'll score enough because I think we'll have our best players back and that the offense will be humming to a point where we can score. Special teams.
How many yards do you think we're going to get on the ground?
120.
120, that's pitiful.
120, but we're going to throw for like 380. 120 throw. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. We'll get 500 total.
Yeah, I'm just watching some highlights of that NC State Miami game. Some of those on NC State's run, you see some Miami players just give up.
NC State can't even throw the ball. So
I think Miami's defense was good against Jimbo at the beginning of the year, but it seems now that they look like Taggart defense us.
Their D line's pretty good, but they're fine. Anyways, their best player on their team is the kicker. The kicker, Borgelis. That fucker can kick it from like 65. Yeah, he's their only weapon on their entire team.
Yep.
Rest of them suck, and we're gonna fuck them up.
I was shocked at how confident I was watching the game. Was it the Virginia game? I think they were down at the time that they were doing a drive, and Van Dyke was like gassed. He was just gasping for air on the sideline, and he just like was so happy to get off the field in field goal range and get their kicker on the field. And that guy got in, nailed his kick. They got the ball back, and then I think they scored with another kick, and then they won or something like that. But I'd never seen somebody so confident in their kicker in my life. And that's not something we've seen a lot of in the past few years.
I can't believe Cristobal didn't bench him after watching that full highlight against NC State last week. He like limp dick noodle armed several balls straight picks. Like,
here's the problem: their other option is not any better.
Yep.
Good. Then you'll have a Jamie Robinson twisting him down again like he did 2 years ago and throwing his ass like a rag doll.
That was last year.
Oh, last year. You're right. Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
2 years ago was 4th and 14.
That's right.
Yep. 4th and 14. That was the Jermaine
Andrew
Johnson
Parchment.
Play. What an elite athlete he was.
Man, they made such a big stink about him coming. They made such a stink about him coming. He made like 5 catches
from Kansas.
Old reliable.
It's coming
you
from
say.
Kansas, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say old reliable, but sure.
Well, reliable on that day.
On that one play, you mean?
One play, yeah.
Well, he didn't have just one play that game.
Yeah, he did.
He did not have many plays all year long.
Yeah.
Oh, you two are so full of shit.
All right. Keys to the game. Jeff, what do you think the keys to the game to beat Miami will be and continue this march forward to a 12-0 season, which is the goal?
1, protect Travis. That's 1. 2, get Benson and Tofili
Did that
running.
great
We
last
need
week.
to run the ball. We need to run the ball. Now, they already have the words that we got Wilson and Coleman back, so that's good. Akeem Dent needs to be able to slow down the pass because if Van Dyke can throw it downhill, we got to get him to stop some plays. Bethune and Deloach, those guys, they get in there and rock the world. We're good. They need to do some more sacks like what Deloach had 2 last week, right?
Yeah, I don't know. One. I know he had 1 for sure. Can't remember. I don't know. So basically, everyone's going to play good.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
You know. I was really worried about.
I agree with
How
that
would you
assessment.
break that down?
I agree with that assessment. Yeah.
I was really worried about when Cypress did that whirly gig with that guy on the end zone when the ball hit the 1 yard line. I thought he was probably horse collared him.
All right, mute him and you take over from here.
I agree with all the points that Jeff made. We need to be better on all fronts. How about that? I think that the key to this game is not so much the offense. If we have some of our playmakers back, we'll figure it out. It's been obviously the case so far. We'll figure it out. It may not be pretty, may not be covering the 14 or 15 points, whatever we're getting on the spread right now. But if our defense shows up and bottles up Van Dyke, they'll fold on offense. They've got nobody. So you just need to kind of take their will to live on offense, and it'll just carry over to the defense, and we'll just kind of outmuscle them in the second half. It's probably what's going to happen. Another one of those second half adjustment things, and they'll show up for a rivalry game at the beginning, and then we'll take their will to live after that.
Big Daddy Nole, what you got?
My fault. One more time.
Keys to the game to beat Miami.
Pressure. We're going to break Van Dyke over a barrel. Show him the 50 states. We are going to lock it down secondary. And, I think our defense continues. I think they come in already broken and scared.
Did we
I
lose
hope
him?
anyway. But, we got to run the ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about Palmer? What do you think? What are the keys to the game for you?
Just continue to pressure Tyler Van Dyke over and over and over and over and over and over, and he'll give up. And it doesn't even matter what our offense does at that point. It'll be just like the Pitt game. We'll eventually break through somehow, some way, some power will occur. And if our 2 best receivers are on the outside, we're going to throw the 50-50 balls, and we're going to get them to work. They have 2 good safeties, but they haven't played guys like these. So I think if our O-line can block it up a little bit, I think, yes, Austin, if Trey Benson could run more, that'd be better. But the odds of that happening are not good because our O-line is not good enough to make that happen. So that is why we do what we do. So if we can just continue to push the ball downfield and have these elite athletes on the outside make plays or up the middle, there's plenty of guys in the fucking pass game that can make it happen. We'll be fine. We're going to put up some points, and eventually we will do what we always do, which is play a little close early and then pull away. Because at the end of the day, we do have a very good defense. And our defense is going to destroy Tyler Van Dyke the entire game. And they're going to love it. They're going to have fun. And from all sections, the D-line, the linebackers, D-backs, they're all going to dominate. It'll be fine. Miami will get their points. They'll stick with us for a little bit, but then we'll pull away. And that's what leads me into my next segment, which is score predictions. I got 31-16. 31-16, we don't cover at that. No, we do cover at that. We do cover at that. Sorry, 31-16, we cover. But by a hair. Wild Hair, what you got for score prediction?
I think they're going to come to play, but I think we're going to beat them. I'm saying it's going to be closer, more like 28-17, just because they do have a good defense and their secondary is good. You know, they've got to match up to Wilson and Coleman. So we'll see. I don't know if they what's their run defense like. The run defense is good. We just got to go.
We got you. We heard the prediction. 28-17 it is. 28-17, we had your breakdown before. Big Daddy Nole, what you got for a score prediction?
I'm going to go 31-14.
31-14, okay. Similar to mine. Gotcha.
Yeah. Wait, was that yours? Sorry.
No, mine was 16. 31-16.
Okay.
Austin, what you got?
I think it's going to be something like 24-14. I don't think it's a very high scoring game. I think we continue our offensive struggles and, give up a few points, like you said. Give up a few points, like you said, with on the defense, and then we tighten up in the second half. And then, it's probably going to be even through the first half, and then we figure out how to score in the second half on one drive, and that ends up being the difference.
Yeah, I'm writing it down now. Jeff, what did you say your score was going to be again?
28-17 is what I'm looking at.
28-17. Okay, 28-17.
That was what I was kind of mulling over. Is like, is it 28, 24? Is it 17? Is it 14? I was kind of in that same range.
Well, I'm giving 3 points for the kicker.
Somewhat in same realm. Florida State winning is what we have, and that's what matters the most. That's what matters the most.
Yep.
So
keep the wins coming. All else is kind of moot point. You shut me the hell up. Whatever.
Yep. Love to. College football week 10. Big Daddy Nole, what's your lock of the week?
I'm going towards LSU on this one. I think they'll cover 13.5.
14 at home against Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus 13.5 versus Florida.
No, minus 14.
No, they're minus 13.5.
Oh, I'm sorry. Minus.
Yep, they're actually,
minus.
I think they're minus 14.
13.5.
That might be too many points to cover, but we'll see.
2 touchdowns.
I mean, how could Florida not give up after the Arkansas debacle? Jesus.
Their wild hair guy. What you got?
I'm going to take Boston College -1 against Virginia Tech.
It's basically a pick 'em. You may as well just take the money line at that point.
Oh, he's typing it, I think, right? Or you're typing it?
I'm typing it. All right, that leaves me next, and then I'll hand it over to you, Peanut. So I'm taking Michigan -4.5 against Penn State. I think Penn State is a bunch of frauds. Franklin's terrible. He does not know how to get his team up for big games, and Michigan is going to steal all of their signs. So good luck.
Yeah, they're going to steal play against all somebody of them.
Good luck playing against somebody who already knows everything you're about to do before you do it.
Yep.
All right, Palmer, you're up.
Oh, so I'm going to take the hot hand right now. Oklahoma State -2.5 at UCF. The reason being is that they are running the ball exceptionally, and they are getting about 150 to 200 yards a game, especially out of their superstar freaking running back, who they basically changed their entire offense to work with. So when they sucked earlier in the year, they changed their offense. They started running the ball to this guy, and he's been dominating everybody, and including last week versus Oklahoma and Bedlam. And 2.5 seems like a very strange line, but
It's low,
I'm gonna
very low.
I'm gonna stick with Oklahoma State because they definitely want you to take UCF, but
What
They
did
suck.
Joey have?
so
Yeah, so they do the opposite of what Florida State does, and they run the ball well.
yeah, correct. But they can't throw it well. So yeah,
No,
same.
right.
Kind of
same.
debating if I should change my lock to Georgia Ole Miss.
Nope, you're locked. We're good.
All right.
You want Georgia 10.5?
Yes,
It's
you
only
do.
Monday. It's not too late to do anything. Just
Yeah,
whatever
well,
you do,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
gonna be-
minus 10.5. Yeah, but the spread I'm seeing is minus 11.
I think I've got 10.5 on the app.
It's a sucker line. It's a sucker line. They're going to beat Ole Miss by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think 10.5. I think that's my lock, guys. Sorry to change it, but
I don't know. I like your LSU pick, but okay.
you do? Ah, fuck. Yeah.
We'll go
Yeah.
with your gut. Go with your gut.
I'll go with two locks this week.
No.
A BOGO deal. Buy one,
No,
get one.
you're betting the wrong game, Joey. Or Big Daddy Noel. You're betting the wrong game. You're not allowed to bet any other games.
It's Georgia
You're only
at
allowed to
home,
bet-
isn't it?
No, you're only allowed to bet one game a week. Guess what that game is? It's the Florida State game because
That's
you
right.
were
Yeah, that's
locked
true.
in on Florida State.
Yeah,
game.
you know what?
You were
Yeah,
not
we're-
locked
yeah,
in on
that's
any
right.
other game.
Yeah, and
in
we're
the
going to
entire
cover that
college
spread,
football.
by the way, guys. We're going to cover that 14.5 spread.
You think we're covering it? All right.
31-14 was my
All right, so-
prediction.
So Big
Yeah.
Daddy
Saying
Noel, Big Daddy
31-16
Noel
's happening.
taking Big Daddy Noel is taking Florida State money line plus the spread.
Yep.
Parlay that little bit.
We're going to beat their ass. They're going to quit.
All right.
Okay.
I think we have it. I think that's the episode. I think that's a wrap.
Like
So with that said, if you guys are listening right now on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever you're on, go ahead and smash that like. And if you can, subscribe to us as well. Tickle that subscribe button. And we'll be very happy for your little tickling. And smash it. Smash the fuck out of it.
This
so-
isn't OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta do something around here to get the people interested. It gets
yes,
the
it
people
is.
going. Gets the people going.
Penis, balls, and titties.
Yep. So with that said, we bid you adieu. Good night and salutations. Go Noles. Fuck Miami.
Fuck Miami. Fuck Miami.